Hey, this is Mr. Newland, and we're going to do continue our third apple painting or fruit painting styles. And this is going to be the stippling or the splatter type painting. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this today. So you already have the template downloaded, but if you don't, if you're starting with this one, you would have to download this in Photoshop. And then in Photoshop, you go to Open. By the way, this is how you should have already your realistic and your expressionistic one done. So we're going to be doing the stippling one here. So we're going to actually work in this corner here for the stippling one. So I'm going to go ahead and open the template though I'm just going to start with this one, but I'm going to paint it down in here. So to do this, remember that I always start with getting the shape of the apple. So I do that by clicking the background with the magic wand. Then I simply say inverse, and that gets me just the shape of the apple. I'm going to do the stippling one, so I'm going to pull that above so that's on the top. Stippling layer. You can add that layer if you need to, not a big deal. I will paint the background again just to have a solid color in the background. To do that, I'm going to take a big brush here on the stippling layer, which is apparently locked. Let me move that over. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint that in at 100% opacity just to fill it up and give me a shape to start with. It's a pretty ugly shape. Ugly color, but that's okay. I'm going to put dots all over it, so it won't matter. Now we're going to take that, we're going to move that apple painting down to the stippling area here. Okay, and since I want to kind of look, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to take the template layer and move him down there next to me like that. Select the apple layer that get on the layer that I want to be on. I want to be on that layer, so let me take the magic wand tool and click deselect, and then click this layer. There we go. Alright, so now I can zoom in and start doing a nice dot or stippling painting. So there's a couple ways to do this, and I don't care which way you want to do it. You can do it. I'm going to show you both ways. So to do a dot painting, if you can actually take a very solid brush to do this. So let me show you how that way is first, and I'll show you another way. So let me start another layer here. And this one, I'm going to show you how to use like just really hard edge dots. So I'm going to use the hard round, but very small dot to do that. Just to start this. So you don't want your dots too tiny, but you don't want them too big either. And what I can do is take the color that's over here, and I can start making dots like this. Use your mouse to click and you can start making, and you want to kind of not necessarily overlap them because they become all then the same. And the trick to doing this, because in other words, if you start putting your dots too close together, they actually become one big shape, which isn't necessarily what you want to happen. So notice as I'm doing this, adding the green, just start adding green wherever you want. Notice that it is 100% opacity as I'm doing this green part of the apple. It's okay if they touch, but you just don't want to do that too much like that. And what you want to do is kind of change up the colors a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with some brighter colors here, and that seems to make a difference in how the fact that you're actually adding different colors to it. If they're all the same dot, you don't get the effect. The idea is to actually make as many different colors as you can. Actually, it does help. So I'm going to go ahead and add the darker ones now, and kind of targeting the spaces in between them too. As I do this, like I said, your dots. It's okay if they overlap. You just don't want to kind of create one solid shape of the same color. I guess that's the best way to say it. You know, not one solid shape of the same color. So I can even go darker with this one, get a few dark ones in there as well. So hopefully you can kind of see what's happening, that, you know, we're actually creating a situation where the dots kind of start taking, you know, giving you the idea of what is actually happening here. So let me keep going here. Let's go for that brighter red color that's in here. And I'm going to have to change it to make it a lot brighter. So in the dot painting thing, taking just the colors from the apple isn't necessarily the best thing to do. Okay. In other words, take it from the, you know, to start maybe, but then you start, it's adding the different colors to it. You know, and I'm going to add a few, you know, these red dots over in here too, even though it's green. It just, your eye kind of blends all those colors together eventually. And notice that I'm not doing a streak, okay? Do not do streaks in a dot painting. You have to just make, that's why clicking with a mouse is like the way to go here. And just clicking away, click, 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 to create these. And add some dots over here. And add some purple. Kind of get this purpley color in here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and continue this painting, but I'm gonna stop for a minute in order to stop the recording in order to get it done so that I can show you how to finish this up. Put a lot more dots on there. You can see that I added the reflective area. It's a darker area. Having different dots that contrast a lot is important. And notice how even when you get close, I'm going to let you zoom in here to see. See how I added even green dots in the red and red dots in the green? Having those dots kind of intermingle is an important thing. In other words, if you have all the same color dots in one area, it doesn't give the effect that you want for a true stippling type project like this. So that's, you know, that's kind of how you want it to look. Now I'm going to show you how to do the background. Definitely lock your layers here so that you don't end up painting on the wrong layer. To do that, so I'm locking those layers there. So I usually like to lock all my layers so I'm not accidentally painting on the layer that I don't want to be on. Now I'm going to have to add another layer that I'll pull down behind. Okay, so it's in the right spot. This is going to be my background. And I'll just go ahead, and you don't have to add the marquee tool because you can always trim your area later, but I'll paint now within that marquee tool on that layer. Okay, so I've got a lot of space to fill here, and I'm going to show you a quick way to do this without just, you know, you can do it with just adding your shapes in there. But let me, or the dots. So let me pick the, a dark color here. I'm going to show you how this is an easy way to do, or an easier way to do this. So I'm going to zoom into the corner here, and I'm going to make a group of dots. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me go back here. There we go. So I'm going to make just a kind of a, not random, but notice I'm changing colors. And I'm kind of targeting, so let me get some bright ones in there too. And I'm trying not to create any kind of a shape, just kind of doing a random thing here. Add some really bright ones in there. Kind of targeting the empty spaces a bit. But in my background, I don't want it to be all just that same color. I'm going to go to red. You'll see what I mean here. Go to a red color. Add a few red in there. And maybe even some of that purpley kind of grayish color here. Why not? These are all colors that I found in the apple anyways. So notice how I'm kind of congregating them up here. And now that's all on one layer. So now if I take this area, I guess I really didn't need to. Okay, so I take this area and I say Control C or Edit Copy, and then Edit Paste. It's Control V. Then I can take that and move that over. Overlap and keep pasting it. Control V. Whoops. Control C. Control V. Oh, I see. What I have to do is select again that area. Actually, let me select this whole area. Let's do it this way. Control C. Control V. Oh, actually, I'm doing that wrong. Let me show you what I'm trying to do. So I've created a... Maybe they're already there. No, they're not there. So what I'm doing is I want to find, let me find those layers that have, okay, so there's that one, and there's that one. I'm going to merge this one down by going to Layer, Merge Down, which is Control E. Now I'm going to copy that. I'm going to copy that area. Control C, Control V, and move this one over. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm getting the square filled. Now I can merge that one down, which is Control E. Take that area. Let me back up here so I can do that a little bit easier. There we go. And take that whole area. Hang on. I'm going to copy that and paste it. Move that one down. Take the Move tool, move it down. And just keep doing that. Control V. So now what I'm doing is I'm being able to let me merge. Still didn't. And I'm going to have to do the table too. Oh, and you see how it kind of, I can do that, you know, I guess this is one way. If I hit Control T, I can take, that gives me a free, if I hit Control T, it gives me what they call a free transform. So I can actually flip this one over. Oops, Control Z. Okay, I can flip that over to make it so that I don't have every single one of them the same. Let me get to this one. Where is this one? Where's my next one? I want this one. That's the one I want. I'm going to hit Control T on that one, and I'm going to flip that one around too. Do you have to do this? No, but it kind of makes it less the same, I guess, by doing it that way. All right, so now I can take this layer and merge these down, Control E, make them all on one layer. Okay, so now my background's all on one layer. I can add a few more dots to kind of fill in these edges. Let me go and get a color that I want here to do that. Why not add that color? You know, it doesn't. And you can see, you can add, just kind of fill in where I need to. Add some of these wherever you think you might need to do a few more shapes or a few colors. And that's a quick way to get all the dots in the background. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with the table here. Okay, so you can see how I did the table there. I'm going to go ahead and take that area of the table. Okay, so this is my area here with, I'm just going to go ahead and grab that area, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that and hit Control T, which is going to allow me to just kind of pull it right over here like this and then resize it into here. I want those dots to be the same size. It's okay if they overlap, obviously. There we go. Fill that up a little bit. So that's how you do that table there. I can then take this layer, merge it down to make it all on one layer. So now my whole background is on the one layer. The only thing I got to add now is the shadow. So let me do that really quick. So pretty much done. I've added the shadow, got the table in there. The last step that I would like to demonstrate for you right now is that you can actually take now that I have everything on that same layer, if I want to clean it up, I can actually take a marquee tool here and actually go along the line and just hit delete. It'll take away anything that might be sticking outside of the edge that I don't want. Using my guideline as a reference, I can do that just to clean it up. Okay, not that it has to be that clean, but that makes it look a little better. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. This is how you do one way to do this. I'll probably demonstrate another way to do it as well. But thanks for watching.